welcome to Gameking and Immortal's first ever episode of Game News. And we're here today to show you Bus Driver on our first ever episode. So let's get started. We're going to show you some game footage right now. Okay, so thanks to our friends at YouTube and the people at GameDemo.com, we have some exclusive footage right here for you. Now, this is the first mission in the game Bus Driver. Now on the first mission, you are a school bus taking some students to a swim meet. It's a pretty easy mission, all things considered. It's not completely easy, but it's the easiest mission in the game. So you take those people right there, they get in your bus. You can see right there the number of people going up on the screen, and the object of the game is to get them to where they need to go in as quick of a time as you can. So, the cool thing is, that's the first mission. Now on the third mission right here, you're a different kind of bus, and you're at an airport now. And you get to go on, you know, a grassy road, and then later you're like in the mountains and rocks and stuff, and eventually, you know, you're in the snow. So there's lots of different places to go, and they really keep it interesting. So you know, that's that. Some things that you might want to know about the game is there are 12 different models of bus to drive, not just school buses or buses at airports. There's double-decker buses and lots of other things. And there are 30 different routes, and each route is a separate mission, over 5 tiers of missions. So the first tier of missions is the easiest tier, and the 5th tier is the hardest tier. And so there are 30 different missions in those tiers, and they have different weather conditions, like rain or snow, or sunny days or dark nights. It's lots of different stuff to do, so it's really cool and interesting. There's even a really big city for you to explore. Like there's like an old town district and a new like business district, so there's lots of different stuff to see while you're playing the game, which is awesome. Now here's an example in the screenshot gallery of what you'll be looking at. Now as you can see here, you know, we got some really nice graphics. You see the sun coming through those trees right there, and you know, they're kind of simple graphics, but the details are there where you need them to be. Like, look at those people. They look pretty realistic, and that school bus looks the way a real school bus does. And look, I mean, you can see me right there. That's me. That's what I look like in real life. So it's a pretty realistic game. Then, as you can see, if you think that's impressive, this next screenshot that you'll see is a completely different type of environment. This is the Vista Glacier Ski Resort, where we have you as a bus driver picking up skiers in this completely different bus. It almost looks like a different game. It's snowing and stuff, and you take those skiers and pick them up, and you have to get them where they need to go. You're a bus driver. It's what you do. So, as you can see, there's lots of different stuff to do, lots of different things to look at. But if you want to see all that pretty stuff, there's something really important you need to know, and that's that there are requirements that your computer has to meet in order to play this game. For instance, you have to have a processor that's at least 1 gigahertz, and it has to have Pentium 3 or equivalent type of processor. Now, the type of RAM in your computer, you want at least 256 megabytes of it. More would probably be better, but that's the bare minimum. You need at least 300 megabytes of free space on your hard drive, and an operating system no older than like Windows 98. It has to be a Windows operating system. And you should have DirectX 8. Okay, now obviously a better computer will run the game better, but that's the bare minimum. Other important things you need to know. These are the controls in order to play the game. So basically the arrow keys right here are what you will be mainly using. Forward is for forward, you know, down is for backwards, this is for left and right. You use the enter key to like select an item or to confirm a selection in the menu. The escape key is to go back to a previous menu. And you press, actually when you're in the game, enter key is opening and closing the doors. The left and right blinker are the 2 bracket keys right here, and your hazard lights are the F key. The left mirror on your car to look through it is the minus, the right mirror is the equals key. To honk your horn, which is always fun, is H. And if you want to take a screenshot like those pretty ones we just saw, you just hit F10 and it'll save a screenshot picture to your gallery on your computer, and then you can check it out later. So that's basically the stuff you need to know. You might want to research it more on your own, though. Okay, so now, here's a special treat. You're going to see me, Immortal, playing a mission from the game. Now, keep in mind, this is Game King's territory, this bus driver game, so I'm not really as good at it as he is, but I'll try to give you an example. We're going to go to Mission 16, the City Connector. And we're just going to see how well I can handle this. And I'm just going to give you a little example of what the gameplay is like. here we go. Okay. Okay, so this is my bus right here. See, it's not even any of the buses I've shown you previously. You really get a lot of variety going on here. Now, there's an orange marker up there where I need to park, so I'm just going to go up there, and I have to slow down, and there we go. And then I hit the enter key, my door opens, and the people get in. Slowly, but they're getting in. Okay. I close the door. Now, I have to turn around here, which is tough, and then go through there. Now, that's one of the tough things about this game. That's one thing, is you will get penalties if you don't drive correctly. Things like hitting walls, the people in your bus, in a very realistic fashion, don't like. They will actually scream at you, get angry, because their lives are on the line here. So you have to follow the rules of traffic, as you can see I'm sort of doing. And I have a little mini-map down here. Look, and I got out of my lane and they gave me a penalty for that. You have to watch out for construction. And you can see they're yelling at me and not being very happy. But see right there, I have a little red circle. That's where I need to take these people. So I just have to survive getting them there. Now, that's basically, you know, the way the game goes. One important thing, though, is you do not want to mess around too much in this game, like I'm doing a little bit. I'm trying not to, though. You should really be focusing on getting there before you lose your on-time bonus, because if you get there early, then, you know, you're a better bus driver. So you want to not lose your on-time bonus. If it gets to 0%, that's a very bad thing. You can afford to lose some of your time bonus, but you can't lose all of it. Okay, so that's basically it right there. You get a little you know, indicator showing you the way, but in puzzle game fashion, you do have to decide on your own what road to take to get where you need to go, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, so before we go, I'm just going to show you something you should never ever do, and that would be following this car and hitting that pole and then going over the grass. Yeah, never ever do that. Okay, so, yeah, that is basically your example of bus driver, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'm going to give you a brief review of what Game King and I felt about the game. Now, first of all, Mission 23 and Mission 17. Now, these missions aren't Game King's favorite missions, and there's a reason for that, and that's that in these missions you drive prison buses carrying prisoners. Now, we think that this is kind of setting a bad example, that you're driving bad people around wherever they want to go. I mean, they're bad people, they don't really deserve it. That's our feeling. Another thing that's not so great about this game is, while there is open play, there isn't really... You have to follow all the rules, and you're not allowed to mess around and just have fun and drive wherever you want, which is kind of a bummer, because lots of games have been doing that lately, and the fact that this game isn't is kind of lame. I mean, the other game that we'll actually be reviewing next time, 18 Wheels of Steel Convoy, does let you do that, and we just think it's a good idea to do that. Good thing about the game is there's lots of different environments for you to explore. And it's just, you know, it's a very entertaining game, especially if you like buses. Anyway, that is about it for Bus Driver. And this has been the first ever episode of Game King and Immortal's Game News, and this is both of us saying, play this game! And come back next time for episode 2.